Hey guys, what is up? Peak Food Dog here, and today I'll be discussing grading cards and the risk of grading your cards with any grading service around the world. So recently, I've been getting messages about a bulletin board on PCA's website that said that they had lost an order from April. This is very unfortunate because some of my cards did get to PCA around that time, and it could be very well possible that I have lost one of my PCA orders and it might be gone forever. So a lot of people have been complaining about PCA lately because the customer service, their turnaround time changes, and just general like the quality of PCA. I completely understand these complaints. Uh, I've been grading with PCA a little bit longer, so I know the good side of PCA. They are a small company in Paris, France. They have a small office, or they had a small office, and they were getting small amounts of cards to grade every day, but nothing overwhelming. All of a sudden, PSA in the United States closed down, and all of a sudden, they are getting completely swamped with tens of thousands of cards a day, more than they used to get, and they are struggling to keep up. And when something like that happens in your small company, you have to decide, what are you going to do? Are you going to either slack on the customer service aspect of your company, or are you going to slack on the quality of your grading? And as pretty much any other grading service in the whole world would most likely choose, at least the good ones, they are keeping up their quality standards of their graded cards, but they are slacking on their customer service, which is very unfortunate, especially for people who are just starting to grade with PCA. I've seen lots of hate mail on Instagram about how they lost their cards, how they haven't updated their site. A customer sent their cards out a month ago, and PCA website still hasn't registered that they're there. I can't really defend PCA in that respect. Their website does have a lot of bugs. Some of the notable bugs that I want to calm you guys about is their website. Sometimes they'll receive the cards, and when they get into the next stage of the grading process, the website will actually have a bug where it'll just show that your cards never arrived, or your status will actually go back to still in transit. This bug, I've messaged them before, and let me be honest with you guys, PCA, the customer service before, I'd send them a mail on Instagram. Within 24 hours, I'd get an answer. So I know their customers can be good. It's only since this whole like Pokemon craze coming back, TCG cards completely sold out everywhere, that these problems have arisen. And they'd send me the mail back and they'd be like, yeah, don't worry, it's a bug in our system, and it's always been fine. I've always gotten my cards. It's never been more than just a little bit of a heart attack when you wake up and you check your order status and it says your cards are still waiting to be arrived at PCA. So yeah, but it did actually happen that PCA did lose cards. It's in French, so pardon me, and my French is not very good. So if I say something wrong from what I translated, please let me know in the comments below. They did lose an order, or an order got lost, better said. They didn't lose the order got lost from the end of April. You can check out their website if you scroll down. Unfortunately, it's only in French. From what I understand, the cards came to PCA, and in the process of somewhere between their mailbox, their post box, to the company, the cards went missing. So let me just talk about this first of all. This can happen with any grading service in the world, not just PCA. You've seen other YouTubers. I know Unlisted Leaf, he had his cards missing for a long time. He ordered like a mystery box or something, and it got stolen at the airport or somewhere in transport. This box of vintage Wizards of the Coast cards got stolen, and it took forever for him to get it back. Look at Leonard with PSA. He sent his first edition Charizard off. It got lost for months and months, and this is before Pokemon went all crazy again. If he wasn't a famous YouTuber and he didn't have, the FBI helping him or whatever sources that he had as, a famous YouTuber, that first edition Charizard, gone with the wind. And that's PSA. When you send your cards to a grading service, you are agreeing to this grading service that you are handing over your cards to get graded. They get so many cards a day, they can't control everything. The postal service theft in life, you always have to if you have a company and you're selling cards or selling anything, you have to adjust your prices accordingly to theft. Theft will happen no matter where you are in the world. And graded cards, I think a lot of people, the misconception is, especially now with the Pokemon craze going full speed, is that, yeah, a card can be worth a lot more if you get it graded. That's true. You can turn a $5 card into a $50 card just if it gets a good grade and getting graded. A lot of people are jumping on this bandwagon. They're throwing their cards at these grading companies and they're expecting, double their money back in returns. And, there's the Pokemon collectors that want to have their cards forever in a nice hard slab, and then there's the people who just want to make money off of it, and they're like, yeah, this is easy money. I can just buy a pack of Pokemon cards for $4 or $5 and then send off the good cards to the grading service, and then out of that $4 or $5 I can make double my returns, and this is the easiest money ever. And what people don't understand is there's risks involved in grading. When you're buying a graded card, the reason you're paying so much for this graded card is because somebody had to pull the card, first of all, then they had to package it and properly send it to the grading service. They had to wait for the turnaround time to be finished. And that's also, you send your cards at the right time, you get them back at the right time. You send them the wrong time, you can get them back. You have to look at the long-term value of the card. This card might be, the set releases, it might be $50, but after the honeymoon phase is over for that card, that price is going to drop down. Maybe by the time you get your card back from the grading service, that card's only going to be worth, $5-10. And then you graded a card that may not be so popular and people might not like it so much. So you have to know that that's going to happen, and then you also have to know that there's a risk involved. Any of these cards can be stolen, and the reason the graded cards cost so much is because when somebody buys it from you from eBay or Craigslist or Ricardo, wherever you are in the world, they're getting that card 100%. I mean, it's shipping domestically and not internationally. As soon as you send something internationally, you're always going to run the risk of customs, you're going to run the risk of theft, and you're going to run the risk of just not knowing where your card is. I mean, my cards for PSA, I sent off a huge order, even before, Pokemon was starting to come back, but it still was, the prices were still manageable. I sent, over a whole booster box worth of Wizards of the Coast Team Rocket first editions to PSA through a middleman. The updates come, I think the middleman then gave him to Graded Gem, something along that line. So he's somehow I'm getting updates from Graded Gem, but also like maybe once a month, if that, about where my cards are. And I'm not even going to try and message him because I know he can't do anything about that. You just have to be patient. You have to be patient. And that's the thing. People invested money in these graded cards. They sent them off to PCA. They sent them off PSA, Beckett, any grading service, wherever. And they're frantic now because they've, invested this money and they can't get their money back from these cards because they're somewhere in transit. And it's really quick to, go on Instagram or go to the website and email them and spam them how much you hate them and how it's not right that they're stealing your cards. And I've seen on Instagram people are threatening PCA about legal action, about calling the French police on them and how they're stealing their cards, because they expected the 2 week turnaround time, which was the usual turnaround time, or 20 days, not 2 weeks, 20 days about business days. And now their cards have been there for over a month. And they're freaking out, and they're like, yeah, the tracking number says the cards came and my cards should be graded by now, and you're just stealing them. You just took my cards and they're on the black market now, and um, so yeah, sending cards anywhere internationally to get them graded is a risk, and that's why you pay premium prices for graded cards. You're not just paying for the card itself; you're paying for the whole service and the whole risk involved in sending your graded cards. Um, so to my customers that have PCA cards in the April time slot, I have not heard anything from PCA. As soon as I hear something good or bad from PCA, I will definitely let you know as soon as possible. Uh, the order is still under received. It looks like they received it. But again, the French to English translate was kind of shaky. It did, my card should have arrived. I did message, like I do with every order, I want to be sure that they arrive. So I message PCA and I'm like, hey, do my cards arrive? Usually they say, yep, your cards are safe, no problem. This was the last order that I did before, kind of for me, the shutdown. I have not sent any more cards to PCA right now. And this is before the whole we lost cards thing. I just needed to settle down a bit. For me, it's too risky. It's too risky to send your cards right now. You see with buying Pokemon cards in stores, now you're starting to see them more in stores. It's settling down. People are sending less. And I'm waiting for that kind of bubble to burst so that my cards are safer. And I'm not sending to any grading service right now. I've completely shut down my business of grading for, at least until the end of summer. I think after summer vacation, September, I definitely want to have some good graded cards come Christmas time and stuff. Also to make some profit, as well as grade some of the newer cards. All my Shining Fates are still at PCA waiting to get graded, and I have a stack accumulating of new cards that will get graded. Another tip that I can give you guys is if you guys are really nervous about losing cards, don't do giant orders. I did, myself started with small orders at PCA, and now I'm, in these huge, hundreds of cards at one time, bulk orders. Um, it's risky. It's risky, and this is kind of also for me a reality check. If you are really worried about your cards, grade them in small numbers. And again, even with my old PCA videos, I did say if you're going to grade with PCA, I would recommend more newer cards, old Wizard of the Coast cards. If they're so, not the best quality, then send them with PCA. It's worth it to get them graded. If you like the artwork and the hologram doesn't have any scratches, but the sides are just completely messed up, but you still want the card slab, do it. PCA is still a good service. Um, they did change location. They are hiring new people, most likely in the customer service area. Um, I can't guarantee what's going to happen to PCA, as most of these other grading services, they've got more competition now. The bubble has bursted. Their orders are definitely going down now. So I guess time will tell, and we will see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope this has helped you. And again, to my customers that have cards with PCA and are nervous right now, I am sorry. I will do my best to find out what is going on with them. And I message them as much as I've always messaged them, but also my messages don't get answered. You're not alone. Their customer service is basically zero right now. Um, but I have faith they are a longer standing company. That's also a misconception. PCA has been around for at least 5 years. I think they started in 2016. They're not some new grading service that just popped up overnight. They're taking your cards and now your cards are gone with the wind. So yeah, have a little faith, have a little bit of patience. But yeah, screaming at PCA and basically threatening them and just saying you want your cards back because they're trash, that's not the way to go. This community is more about having fun, treating others with respect, and do to others like you would like done to you. So please, guys, just be patient. This can happen. Theft can happen anywhere in the world. And as far as I understood from the PCA post, these cards were in the process. They'd kind of gotten delivered to the post office box, but they hadn't been received by the company themselves. So even though PCA is taking full responsibility for this theft, it is not PCA's fault as far as I'm concerned. This was any theft that could happen. A box could get delivered, and I've seen it in other videos of people on YouTube. I mean, you can look it up. People have gotten packages from their porch stolen. Their graded cards came, they're sitting on their porch, somebody stole them, and then they found them on Craigslist for, next to nothing prices. If the cards did get stolen from the PCA to the customer in that transit, they all have a QR code, and I'm sure PCA is going to be working with law enforcement to track these cards down. All their cards have QR codes and numbers, so if anybody tries to sell them on eBay or local websites, they will be easy to track down, and I'm sure the police will do something about it. So yeah, stay positive, and yep, keep getting your cards graded. I would wait a little bit, but will I still grade with PCA? Definitely. As long as PCA can prove again that they are the company that they were before this bubble, I will definitely keep grading with PCA. And I hope you guys still enjoy the hobby, and I hope you guys will still grade with whatever service you feel comfortable with. But please know the risks of grading. When you buy a graded card, account the risk of theft when you pay the premium prices, because sometimes even the grader themselves, they're not making that much money off these cards. So if you like this, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and check me out on Instagram if you want some more updates and pictures. I will try and get some more videos out for you guys of openings, but it is summertime and I am spending time with family, so the videos will be a little bit less frequent as they were in winter and fall. But thanks for sticking by, and have a great day. Talk to you later.